Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be propagating some plants and I'm going to show you guys how I do that. So the first plant that I'm going to propagate is going to be this Florida ghost. I think I'm going to be going to a plant swap, so I wanted to propagate some of these plants. So I have my shears right here. And I sterilize these. I just put them on the fire. You could also spray them with alcohol and just wipe them down. So what I'm gonna do, I hope you guys can see. Right here, there is a node, which if I cut this, it will become an aerial root. Not an aerial root, it'll become a root if you put it in water. So these were already putting out new growth, I think. So I cut this guy. If you see there, it has some nodes. And then this one can be its own cutting too. So what I'm gonna do, is then I'm gonna cut in between these guys, like that. Some people like to add rooting hormone, and I do have some right here. I don't know if that's focusing. I just put a little bit like on the top and then put each end in here. Put on each end. And then I have some containers with water, and then I just drop this guy in there. And for this one, I'm not gonna add any rooting hormone, and we'll just see what happens. I usually don't add it anyways. I just have it because, you know, I thought it'd be helpful, but I've used it in the past and I honestly don't see that much of a difference when you use it or you don't use it. So yeah. So that's that, guys. So this is already 2 cuttings. So we'll see if it gives us some roots fast. And I could take these guys to a plant swap. So now my plant looks a little empty right here, but it'll grow. This guy grows really fast. Up next, I want to take some cuttings from this guy. As you can see, this is my second Monstera adansonii, and it has these long vines that are already going up this little trellis. So I'm gonna cut that. I'm not sure like how many people are gonna want cuttings of this guy, but just in case, if there's, you know, people that don't have it and want it, they could get it. So if you could see right here, there's an aerial root, so I'm gonna cut right under that. You see? And then this guy already has a new leaf coming in, so this is 3 leaves. So I'm gonna take one of my containers and just put it in there. See? It's sitting in water. And I haven't filled these all the way just because I knew the cuttings were not gonna be that big. I added Super Thrive to my water, and I think that helps the plants root faster from my experience. So I'm just gonna take some more cuttings from this guy. So what I like to do is kind of make a T in between. So this is a node, but this one already has a root, so you don't really need all this extra. So you just make a T, and this is called the internode. Pretty much just like the little stem part. And then I'll just add that there. Here's another one. And I think this guy, I'll just leave it like this. But if someone wanted to, they could cut this here to have two cuttings. But I'll just leave it like this and put this part in water so it will start to root. And then this will become its own little plant. I hope this is like, you guys understand what I'm talking about. I also wanted to take a cutting from this Hoya. This is kind of hard to find, so I wanted to take a cutting. I mean, even if it's a small one, hopefully, you know, someone will grow it out. This is the Hoya Serpens X Mathilde. So for this guy, I have a smaller little bottle. And you would see here in the stem, I don't know if it's gonna focus, right here in the little stem, there's these little dots or like bumps. Those are their little nodes. So that would become those would become the roots. And this guy's super small. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna take this to the swap, but I'll just add it like that and hopefully it'll root. I just noticed it's giving me a little peduncle. How cool! I've never seen a peduncle in person in one of my plants. I seen one at a store and the flowers were really cute. Okay, and then now I'm gonna cut this beast. So this guy has this type of a stem. So I'm gonna cut somewhere here and then divide these 3 leaves. And hopefully I do a good job. I'm sorry if you can't see when I cut this, but this is a node right here sticking out. So once I put this in water, this will become a root. So I'll just have to make sure to get enough stem to put in water. So now I have this 3-leaf piece. And what I could do is either divide this into 3. I think since these 2 guys are too close together, I wouldn't get enough stem and it could rot. I'm gonna just divide it into 2. So cut right here and make this one plant and then make these 2, like leave these 2 together. So I'm just gonna go in right here, like, and you see. Sometimes I use cinnamon instead of this rooting powder, or at least for plants that tend to rot. And you just put the cinnamon right over where you cut it, and that helps the plant not rot. And then I just stick it in water like this, and then there you go. and then this will become its own plant. And I'll do the same with the other piece. I'll add some. Like that. And this will become someone's plant. So I might be taking these guys to the plant swap. Whatever roots the fastest. I've only been to 2 plant swaps, but I try to make sure that the plants that I do take already have roots. You can take unrooted cuttings, but like for sure this adansonii, by next week it will have some roots. Like they grow really fast, so I try to take stuff that has roots already, just because I want to make sure that it'll thrive in the next person's home, and you know, they'll have a nice plant instead of something that maybe will get stressed out and won't even put out any roots. I don't know if that makes any sense. I also wanted to show you guys how I would pack or get a plant ready to take to a plant swap, because sometimes, you know, when it's our first time, we don't know. So I'll go ahead and show you with a cutting that I already have. So I have this cutting. This is a Monstera adansonii, and this is already rooted. So this has been sitting in water for a while, and it's already rooted. So let's say I wanted to take this guy to a plant swap. Then what I would do is I have some moist sphagnum moss in here. So what I would do is I would pack the moist sphagnum around the roots, like that. I have plastic wrap, but you can also use a like Ziploc bag. Sometimes people do take their cuttings in water, but for like transporting the plant to the place, it's kind of a hassle, just because, you know, your car moves all over the place and the water can get everywhere. So what I tend to do is I put the plant in sphagnum, I take the plastic wrap, and just make sure that, you know, I would do this maybe the day before the swap, just so like that your sphagnum stays wet, and I just wrap it around like that. And since this is not really sticky, I just, you know, press it with itself. And then I have some of this, it's kind of like tape, it just sticks to itself, and I will take some of this and just wrap it around this to make it a little bit secure, like that. And the reason I add this type of tape instead of regular tape is that people can easily rip this and check the roots. And also you would take maybe a sticker or a tag or something and add the name of the plant and maybe your Instagram handle, so people know, you know, who they got the plant from. And I think that's perfect. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions about how to propagate any other type of plant, just go ahead and leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. And thanks for watching. Bye.